Okay, there's a lot of discussion and outrage over the Philadelphia Starbucks incident, but we just had another incident in California, and I'm going to show you a video that was posted 4/16/2018. I'm going to play the video, then we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to call the store. Just happened a few hours ago.
How you doing, bro? What's your name? Where the Ward?
Weston.
Weston, nice to meet you, sir. Did anyone told you that you look like someone familiar?
No.
No, you never got that?
Yeah.
Have you purchased anything in here, sir?
No, but I was just about to go.
You about to go purchase
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, but before you made a purchase, they let you use a restroom, right?
I just typed in, I asked for the code.
You asked for the code and they just gave it to you,
Yeah.
right? Before you made a purchase.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Come on, let's go. Are you done? Were you about to get something?
Well, I was going to get food.
Are you gonna get food?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is Weston, and Weston hadn't made a purchase yet, you guys. So I would like Starbucks right here on Redondo, on Artesia and Hawthorne.
You need to stop recording.
This man right here said he hasn't made a purchase yet. He's in line to make a purchase, and you guys had gave him the code, right? Isn't that what you did?
My business right now.
No, this is not your business. This is not your business. This is not your business, though. Okay, you may be the store manager, but you're not the. You're not in charge. I'm not allowed to be in here anymore. Why? You see, they're so mad. Why are they upset with me, Weston? What did I do?
I don't know.
I just tried to use the bathroom like you did, and they gave it to you. Is it my skin color? 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 I couldn't use the bathroom, but Weston could.
Amen.
I feel it may be my skin color. Hey, but this is about to be on social media. It's about to go in the shade room. You guys know what the
Thank you for calling Starbucks. We are here to help. Pour continuer en français, appuyez sur le 7. Para continuar en español, oprima 8. To continue in English, press 9. If you are calling about a Starbucks card or Starbucks rewards program, press 1. For questions or feedback about one of our stores, our products, or our company, press 2. By the way, this call may be recorded for quality purposes. Please hold while we transfer you to the next available representative. Did you know that you can reload your Starbucks card, check your balance, and review your rewards activity online and through the Starbucks mobile app? For more information, visit starbucks.com or download the Starbucks mobile app for. Thank you for calling Starbucks. We are here to help. Pour continuer en français, appuyez. With the Starbucks reward program, you'll earn 2 stars for every $1 you spend on coffee, food, drinks, merchandise, and more. If you're in the gold level, once you earn 125 stars, you'll be able to redeem them for a free treat at participating stores.
Thank you for calling Starbucks Coffee. My name is Dana. How may I help you today?
Yes, I have a question in regards to, and a statement in regards to one of your stores in Southern California. I don't know if you're aware of it, but we had an incident, I believe today, at Hawthorne, your Hawthorne store, Hawthorne and Sepulveda, which is actually worse than the Philadelphia incident, which I know that you're aware of. The only difference is that the police were not called. It is on video, and if people haven't seen it, they're going to. And I'm a bit appalled that the CEO would try to deflect, perhaps for legal purposes. He had to. I can understand that if that's the case. But to suggest, as he did, that different stores have different policies, and maybe we need to retrain or revamp or relook at the policies of different stores at the different stores, that is a blatant falsehood. He is fully aware, as we all are, that it is not a store policy. And if he continues, or if your company continues this deflection, it's just going to get worse, because there was a patron in the store, I believe, a white woman who had been there for over an hour, had not ordered anything. So clearly it's not a store policy. And the incident that happened in California, if you haven't seen the video, I would happily send it to you, the link. But in that incident, the black gentleman asked to use the restroom. He was denied immediately after. And unfortunately for Starbucks, he was still there and he saw it. And a white gentleman requested to use the restroom. He was granted access. And rather than jump to the gun or jump to conclusions, he waited till the white man came out. He asked him, did you purchase anything? He said, no. Thinking about buying something. He said, did you tell them that? I think he said, no. So you just asked to use the restroom? He said, yeah, I just asked to use the restroom. I asked for the key and they gave it to me. So, it is impossible. People aren't stupid. The public is not dumb. We were not born yesterday. And I'm a shareholder, by the way. Okay. And I regret I didn't go to the March meeting of shareholders. Because if I had, well, actually, this hadn't happened then. That's the type of thing I would stand up and make sure that everyone is aware of it. It's not looking good. I know that you guys want to do the right thing, and I applaud that. I know the CEO is doing the best he can. I know that he's probably spoken to the attorneys, but you're just making it worse. And the incident that happened in California, are you going to use that same thing? Maybe we need to relook the store policies. No, you need to fire the employees that have this blatant, overt racism, and that's all that is. There's no other word for it. The only variable that is different, they're both young men in their 20s. There's one variable that is distinctly different. One was black, the other was white. That's it. There's nothing else that can be said. That is the very definition of racial discrimination. Unless you can say you discriminated because one was male and one was female, maybe you could use the excuse that the male bathroom was not in operation. We wanted to minimize the usage of it because of a plumbing issue. Yeah, fine, maybe. But they're both men. They're going to the same restroom. Within a 5-minute span of time, the black one was denied. And the bad thing about it, most people, most consumers, when things like this happen, they just suck it up. You're going to bring people out of the woodworks to tell their story. And that's already happening. And unfortunately for Starbucks, a lot of the people coming out of the woodworks to tell their story happen to be white patrons who are saying, I go to Starbucks all the time. I sit there for hours to do my homework, to use Wi-Fi. I might ask for a cup of water, but I don't ever buy coffee. And I don't get treated like that. The police don't get called. And I go to the restroom as many times as I need to. And if you start trying to deflect, one more thing, and I appreciate your patience, one more thing. If you start trying to deflect by saying, well, maybe we need to retrain all the employees or change the policy at different stores, listen, when you have the same store, the same manager, the same policy, it is clearly racial discrimination, and that's what's going on. I'm sure that Starbucks does not encourage or promote that, and I'm sure you don't even tolerate it. But now that you are aware of it, perhaps you weren't before, because people are people. I understand that. I came from management myself. And I have a company. I have several companies, actually. And we can't always say that we know what people are going to do, especially when they're granted a little bit of power. And in these cases and in many of these types of jobs, people that are promoted through the ranks, they start feeling their power and start thinking they can do what they want. And in the case of California, the lady said, it's my store. Basically, she's telling you, Starbucks, and everyone else, it's my store. I can do what I want. I'm not paraphrasing. She literally said, it's my store. And the black gentleman had to correct her and say, no, it's not your store. She said, well, I'm a manager. And it sounds to me like she's saying, I can pretty much discriminate because Starbucks isn't going to do anything about it. Let me tell you something. I'm going to make a point, and I don't even live in the area, to go by that store in a few days. And I want to see if she's still working, because she shouldn't be. Now, if you would like the video, I would be more than happy. Oh, first of all, have you seen the video?
No, I have not seen anything from California, only the one from Philadelphia. And I wouldn't be able to receive it from you, but you can send it to Starbucks Review at starbucks.com. And what I would like is to add your name and your Starbucks rewards account information to your comments. If you'd like for me to. If you want me to just keep it anonymous, I mean, I can do that as well.
You could add my name, Bob Johnson.
Google password required.
Okay.
But that should be sufficient.
Okay. All right, then I'll just add your name, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, now you personally were not aware of the California. And by the way, I went to the website to leave a comment and over a dozen people had already done it within less than a few hours and gave a bunch of 1-star reviews. And people pay attention to those things. I like Starbucks. I like the fact that you guys are a success story within the last few years, and that the founder has been so successful. And I am a patron as well as a shareholder in Starbucks. But when I say we, I mean we, the consumers, the public, the American population, the world, actually, because this has actually gone international. We cannot and will not tolerate this type of behavior from anyone or any company, for that matter, regardless if it was a black man, if it was a white man, if it was Latino, if it was anything. We're not. No. It's not acceptable. Now, one final thing. You haven't seen the video, but do you have knowledge as to whether or not the company is aware of this incident that happened in California today?
We have not been notified since I've been working. I've been working the last 5 hours, so of course I haven't seen any videos. I haven't had access to anything outside of my computer monitor because I've been working for the last 5 hours. But nothing has come down to us in reference to any additional video, only the one in Philadelphia.
Okay, well, I'm going to do my part to make sure that you and everyone else does see it. Like I said, it's actually more egregious than what happened in Philadelphia, other than the fact that the police were not called. The patron had the video. He said he's going to put it on YouTube, and he probably did, but maybe he doesn't realize the importance of doing it correctly to make sure that everybody sees it. I mean, it's not even anyone trying to do any harm to a company or anyone else. But even the reason that the protests and everything else, and there still may be widespread boycotts against Starbucks, is because the people that have the power, and it's not the CEO, are not satisfied yet. Not yet. Because there is a clear deflection of responsibility. And by saying, I take all the responsibility, no, that's actually a deflection. You have racist employees in management. Period. That's all there is to it. It is not a company policy. It's not that they need to be retrained. It's not that the policy needs to be relooked at or made consistent across the board in all of your stores, because that policy is not a policy, and it was administered in Philadelphia only and factually against the black gentleman. And today in California, nothing could be more clear when minutes later, after being denied, a white patron is granted access. It is literally impossible for anyone with an IQ over 50 to buy the idea that it is a policy issue. When you accept responsibility and say these employees, just simply apologize for their behavior, let the public know that they have been dealt with or that they will be dealt with, that's how you take responsibility. You're trying to mitigate responsibility and deflect from responsibility when you stand on a podium and say, as a CEO, I take responsibility. No, we're not stupid. We're not stupid. Why don't you admit that you dropped the ball? It happens. To err is human. I have businesses, plural, and employees, plural. Things happen that we're not always in control of. But my admonition is that you guys handle this correctly. And so far, I know it's probably frustrating because they think they're doing everything right. But let the people will decide whether you're doing everything right or not. And so far, people aren't satisfied. For me personally.
Sure.
Oh, just coincidentally, I'm going to say one more thing because I appreciate your time. I had an incident last week. Had nothing to do with Starbucks. And the manager did not handle it to my satisfaction and witnessed the behavior of the employee, the rude disrespectfulness. And I asked to speak to the owner. She said she was the owner. Big mistake. I said, okay, that makes it a little bit easier because I know people bluff and you're used to people bluffing, but they're never going to do anything. I could literally put you out of business. You have no idea who I am or what I'm capable of, but you will see very soon. I did one out of about 12 to 20 steps I could have taken. And that was to leave a very powerful review, which got about 6 or 7 likes in a couple of days. And it got the attention of the real owner. And 4 days later, when I contacted them and said I would like to speak to him in person, and he agreed, the employee, the guilty party, had already been terminated. That's how effective what I wrote is, because I write professionally and I write very well. And it was long and detailed. And anyone that would read that and then patronize that establishment would be a fool. And I said as much, because that's the person handling your food. Respect for customers. And by the way, he worked in the kitchen. When you work in the kitchen and you have full and total access to what people are going to ingest in their bodies, if you don't respect the customers, even if you never see them, you are that employee that's going to drop food on the floor, pick it up, wipe it off, and put it back on their plate because you don't respect them. And when you talk to customers like that, you have demonstrated you don't respect them. And any establishment, any eating establishment that has people that have access to our food, when they demonstrate that type of disrespect, whether it's subconsciously or on purpose, we know it's not going to be hygienic. Never. Because it takes an extra caring person to remember. You touch your face, you wipe your face, you pat at your hair, you touch the doorknob, even after you wash your hands again.
Right.
And if you're not that person, if you're the person who demonstrates any level of disrespect to the people that are paying your salary, you are not the person that's going to do that extra step when nobody's looking. And we know that. And I think what I wrote made people think about something they had never thought about before. And they said right then and there, not only will I not eat here again, but I'm going to remember his words. If I see a food worker disrespecting anyone brazenly, I don't want to eat there. It's not safe.
Right.
Anyway, but, and by the way, just to show you that I am reasonable, when I met with the proprietor of the establishment, he was so cordial, polite, and professional and apologetic, and had spoken to each and every one of his employees and showed them my review, had printed it out. Because like I said, it was extremely long. It was as long as you could possibly make it. I had to delete some things. And he took it seriously. I said, sir, I'm not trying to hurt your business. Small business is the lifeblood of America. And I'm a business owner myself. But because you've been protests and I'm going to delete my posts. Even better, I'm going to turn that 1-star review to a 5-star review because your food is actually good. And I realized to err is human. And even that employee, I didn't try to get him fired, but so be it. But because he was a gentleman, nobody else is going to see the post. They're going to see a positive post. That's what can happen. That's called turning a negative situation around 180 degrees. And he did it. I didn't ask for anything. I didn't get anything. I didn't need any free food. I didn't need a coupon. I didn't need anything. So when I say when the consumers are not satisfied, sometimes it's just about legitimate respect. Because you cannot fake it, because we'll always know the difference.
Exactly.
Okay, so I guess that's about all I had to say. Is there anything you want to...
Thank you so much for calling and expressing your opinion, Mr. Johnson. I hope that we don't have to keep revisiting these things, and I can only go by what corporate is, handing down to us and speak on that. So at my level, that's just about as far as I can go.
Right.
And that is to apologize to customers about what happened. Last week, we haven't gotten any information about anything happening in California so far.
Okay. Well, it just happened. I believe it was today because it was posted today. So,
all right. Well, certainly your input is recorded, and we definitely appreciate you calling and expressing it.
So the call has been recorded. Yes. Okay, so I'm sorry, what was your name?
My name is Vanna. It's Vanna.
Okay. How has your day been today?
Oh, it's been pretty rough, but that's par for the course.
I'm glad you were honest. I'm sorry?
I won't complain.
I'm glad you were honest because I hear the stress in your voice, and I certainly have not tried to add to it. You have been cordial and respectful, and I believe I have been as well.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
And you too. You have a good day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.